What would you do after starring in not only Avatar, but a Terminator movie? Sam Worthington chose to make this 90s flavored action thriller. It's day 150 of 365, today's movie, Man on a Ledge. Wait, don't jump. I've made a movie club so you can find a community of other people who love movies. It's at patreon.com/ticketstubmovieclub, and for $5 you get not only early access to these videos, but my monthly deep dives and my book, as well as much more. Go over there and check it out today. This one's directed by Asghar Leth and stars Sam Worthington alongside Elizabeth Banks, as well as Jamie Bell. And like I said at the top, this is a 90s flavored action thriller that would make just as much sense if it came out in 1996 with Harrison Ford or 2001 with Denzel Washington. After his giant leading roles in not only Avatar, but Terminator Salvation as well, Sam Worthington had to find something to do in the movies in between the giant gap between Avatar and Avatar 2. So this is one of the movies that he put out that I saw in theaters. Revisiting in 2025, I was actually kind of surprised how much it reminded me of Inside Man from Spike Lee. Now, I do think that's the better movie overall, but I was still kind of surprised at how well this one held up. It's kind of like out of time in the way that it presents its story. It's not super futuristic, so it still really held up for my watch. I actually found quite a few things I enjoy about it, so let's talk about the 3 things that I dug about Man on a Ledge. The first thing that I really dig about this movie is the way they buried the lead. Now, I was following the trailers when it was coming out, and the Man on a Ledge was not only the title, but the angle of the trailers, and that's all they told you about the movie. It looked exciting, but they never let you know that there's a heist in the middle of this movie, and that was such a cool idea. This is something we don't get to do anymore, especially with the way people break down trailers to try to guess the entire plot of a movie before it comes out so that the audience just isn't surprised anymore, I guess. I loved having grown up in a time at the movies where you could still be surprised walking in, and this was one of those surprises. Even the movie itself, if you knew nothing else about it, the first 20 minutes don't let you know that there's a heist going on. It's just setting you up with the idea of a man on a ledge. And then it reveals its hand as to what's going on underneath. But there's still more to uncover. And yeah, if you know movies, you probably guessed that Ed Harris's character is going to end up being the bad guy, and there's going to be a couple extra turns to happen. But that's just part of the fun of watching one of these. They're not meant to be intensely cerebral. The intent is for the ride to be a lot of fun, for you to just go along with the characters as they're expressing themselves to you and taking them at face value, only to find out that there's a turn or a change that's about to happen. That's the fun of this, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much revisiting. Inside Man did a similar thing where it's a heist, and we know that it's a heist, but we don't know how this heist is going to end, or even the fact that maybe these bank robbers aren't as bad as they seem once we come out the other end. Anytime you can bury the lead like that, I'm gonna have a good time. And it was such a fun twist. I remember in theaters being like, oh wow, I never would have guessed that there's gonna be a heist in the middle of this Man on a Ledge movie. This was just the cover, the facade, and it captures us, the audience, in the way that it captured the audience that's down on the ground watching him on the ledge. The second thing that I have to compliment here is the camera work. This is functionally a single location movie. Now, I know we do get other locations overall, but really functionally, it is based around the ledge, and they keep that camera soaring and moving. I think that's really the big advantage to a movie like this. Like, if you know you're gonna be locked in on a single ledge for functionally 80% of the movie, it's really important to keep that camera moving. The camera is what is telling the story here, keeping things big and wide and sweeping and epic. And I love that. I absolutely have to compliment the camera work on this movie. The third and final thing that I kind of dug about this movie was Ed Burns as Jack Doherty. This is a classic 90s side character. This is not a thing we talk about in movies a lot either. Side characters can make or break your movie, and if you have really strong side characters, it can make the whole movie that much easier to watch as we take breaks from the leads and still give the audience something to connect with. Jack Doherty is the no-nonsense, quippy New York cop. He gets all the best lines of the movie, including my favorite one at the end, when he sees Elizabeth Banks in the elevator and just gets one quick little liner off. I won't ruin what it is, but it makes the end of the movie that much more tasty. I love a movie that has cool side characters like this, and he just really stood out to me in his performance. But what do you think? Did you check out Man on a Ledge when it came out, or is this one that you skipped entirely? Our last 2 movies were female-led. We're going to keep with the bro-y movies. We're going from Man on a Ledge into Chronicle, the ultimate found footage bro movie. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow.